Has global terrorism found a new surge in recent times? This question, unsettling as it may be, hovers over us like a dark cloud. The world has recently witnessed a horrifying example of this sinister trend, the attack on the Moscow concert hall. An event meant for music and joy was transformed into a scene of chaos and despair. This incident serves as a stark reminder of the persistent threat that terrorism poses to global peace and security. To understand the gravity of the situation, we delve deep into the chronology of the Moscow concert hall attack. The evening of the attack was a regular concert night at the Crocus City Hall music venue near Moscow. The excitement was palpable as the crowd gathered, unaware of the horror that was about to unfold. As the concert reached its peak, the sudden and brutal interruption of gunfire sent shockwaves through the hall. Armed assailants, their intentions as deadly as their weapons, had infiltrated the venue. The concert's melody was abruptly replaced by screams of terror, the harmony shattered by the relentless barrage of bullets. In the midst of the chaos, an explosion echoed through the hall, followed by an insidious fire that swiftly consumed the venue. The concert-goers, already in a state of shock and panic, now found themselves amidst a blazing inferno, fighting not just for their sanity, but for their very lives. In response to the pandemonium, Russian authorities swarmed the scene, their sirens wailing a grim counterpoint to the screams and cries of the terrified victims. The swift and decisive actions of these first responders led to the detention of 4 gunmen, thereby preventing further carnage. However, the immediate aftermath was a sight of horror and devastation. The death toll was staggering, with a reported 137 lives tragically lost and over 145 injured. The attack left the world in shock, and the aftermath was a grim reminder of the terror that unfolded. In the span of a single evening, a night of music and celebration was transformed into a horrifying tableau of fear and death. The echoes of gunfire and the scent of smoke serve as chilling reminders of the fragility of peace and the devastating impact of terror. In the aftermath of the attack, all fingers pointed towards a notorious group, ISIS-K. The aftermath of the incident was a scene of chaos and confusion, but amidst the turmoil, 4 individuals were apprehended. These suspects, now in custody, were directly linked to the horrifying act that unfolded in the Moscow concert hall. In a surprising turn of events, 3 of the 4 accused confessed their guilt in a Russian court, adding a grim certainty to the proceedings. The plot, however, took a more sinister turn when ISIS-K, the Islamic State Khorasan province, claimed responsibility for the attack. This was a name not unknown to those familiar with the world of terrorism. Known for their ruthlessness and their history of violent acts, ISIS-K has left a trail of bloodshed and fear in their wake. The group, which has previously been linked to the devastating Kabul airport bombing in 2021, appeared to have extended their terror network to the heart of Russia. But what could be the motive behind this act of horror? To understand this, we must delve into the annals of history. ISIS-K's adversarial relationship with Russia has deep roots, dating back to historical conflicts. The animosity between the 2 parties has only intensified over the years, culminating in this tragic event. Yet as we piece together the puzzle, another unexpected player comes into view. Alongside ISIS-K's claim, allegations emerged of a connection to another nation. Accusations flew thick and fast from Russian President Vladimir Putin, who pointed an accusing finger towards Ukraine. He claimed that the gunmen had links to Ukraine, an assertion that was swiftly denied by Kiev. While ISIS-K claimed responsibility, the plot thickened with allegations of links to another nation. In a shocking turn of events, Russian President Vladimir Putin alleged links between the attackers and Ukraine. This claim, however, sent ripples of disbelief across the international community, with many casting doubt on its validity. Putin's allegations suggested that the gunmen responsible for the horrifying attack on a Moscow concert hall had connections to Ukraine, even asserting that they were attempting to escape towards the country, where they supposedly had a prepared window to cross the border. This narrative was amplified by Putin's supporters on social media, turning the incident into a geopolitical dispute. However, the Ukrainian government firmly denied these allegations. Kiev labeled Putin's claims as a provocation, a tactic designed to shift blame and divert attention from the real culprits. The main intelligence directorate of Ukraine's Ministry of Defense went on record to reject the Federal Security Service of Russia's statements, calling them absurd. The United States, too, refuted Putin's allegations. US officials denied any Ukrainian involvement in the attack, further undermining Putin's narrative. Amidst this flurry of claims and counterclaims, the truth seemed to be getting murkier. Interestingly, the Islamic State Khorasan province, or ISIS-K, claimed responsibility for the attack. This group, known for the Kabul airport bombing in 2021, has a history of carrying out large-scale attacks. The involvement of ISIS-K was confirmed by US officials who had issued warnings about potential extremist threats near Moscow just days before the attack. In the face of such evidence, Putin's allegations appeared even more questionable. Was this an attempt to frame Ukraine? Or was there more to the story than met the eye? The global community waited with bated breath for more clarity. As the world grappled with the horrors of the attack, these allegations added a layer of complexity to the narrative. The truth, it seemed, was hidden behind a veil of political maneuvering and misinformation. As the investigation continues, the world watches and waits. And the attack on the concert hall was not entirely unforeseen. In the days leading up to the tragedy, the American embassy in Moscow issued several warnings about potential extremist threats in the vicinity. These alerts were based on intelligence gathered, suggesting an imminent terror plot. In an effort to prevent such a catastrophe, the United States followed its duty to warn policy, a principle that obligates them to inform individuals or entities about impending threats to their safety. However, these warnings were met with disbelief and dismissal by Russian President Vladimir Putin. He criticized the alerts as provocative, suggesting they were attempts to destabilize Russian society. Rather than taking precautionary measures, the warnings were brushed off as blackmail, an accusation that would soon echo with regret. The duty to warn policy is typically an effective tool in preempting potential threats. It is based on the principle of shared security and international cooperation. However, its effectiveness is dependent on the receiving party's willingness to heed these warnings. In this instance, the warnings were not only ignored, but also maligned as disruptive tactics. This incident has sparked global discussions on the effectiveness of the duty to warn policy. Questions are being raised about the extent to which these warnings can be effective if they are not taken seriously. The dismissive response from Russian authorities has led to a broader conversation about the importance of international cooperation in the face of shared threats. In retrospect, the warnings were a foretelling of the looming catastrophe. What was dismissed as an attempt to sow discord was, in fact, a sincere effort to prevent a tragedy. The dismissal of these warnings underscores the tragic irony of this situation. The warnings, dismissed as blackmail, soon became a tragic reality. The Moscow concert hall attack has left the world with many questions and few answers. In the wake of the horrific event, we've delved into the unfolding of the attack, the suspects involved, and the allegations thrown against Ukraine. The brutal assault resulted in a staggering loss of life and injury, a chilling reminder of the destructive power of terror. 4 suspects, now in custody, are at the center of this tragedy, their motives and affiliations still under scrutiny. Allegations have been made linking these individuals to Ukraine, a claim strongly denied by the Ukrainian authorities. These allegations have added a layer of complexity to an already convoluted situation, muddying the waters of truth and accountability. A significant revelation in our discussion was the ignored warnings. US intelligence had foreseen the potential threat, yet their warnings were dismissed. It's a stark reminder of the importance of international cooperation and communication in preventing such atrocities, a lesson we should all take to heart. We also touched on the broader issue of the global rise in terrorism. This event is not isolated, but part of a worrying trend of increasing violence and extremism. It's a wake-up call for the international community to unite in the face of this common enemy. As the world mourns the loss of lives in the Moscow concert hall attack, it's a poignant reminder of the need for unity in the face of a common enemy, terrorism.
Subscribe for more videos like this. Turn on notification and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.